Hello, Oilers fans. Austin here with the day after discussion episode of the Oilers' 5-1 victory over the Nashville Predators. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween. I hope we're all not feeling a little too sick this morning after maybe eating a lot of candy last night. And I hope there's still a lot of candy to eat this weekend. The Oilers, speaking of candy, speaking of eating, the Oilers feasted on the Nashville Predators last night. 5-1 was the score. Leon Draisaitl was an absolute monster. He continues to just absolutely destroy the Predators, and I don't know what it is about Nashville that he just finds a way to elevate his game against, but if you're an Oilers fan, that's a good thing. And the team overall, I thought the team overall played pretty solid. There's a few things that they got to clean up, but there's a lot of things we are going to discuss. If you are new to the channel, basically the day after episode, this is my more long form type of content. These episodes range between 25 and 35 minutes long, where I discuss a variety of topics, different players, different, narratives. And I'm also available on Spotify, Apple, and Amazon. So if you prefer an audio-only version of this type of content, of course, I will leave the links in the description below. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep this episode a bit more brief than usual. I think the last episode ran up to about 36 minutes. Little lengthy for me. We're going to try and hit that 20-minute mark and call it a day. So if you end up enjoying today's video, make sure you hit that like button. If you really like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel. There's a ton of new subscribers, and I'm going to talk about a huge milestone that we hit last night towards the end of the video. So I'm very excited about that. But here are today's topics. Full team effort is topic number one. Calvin Pickard will discuss his play and whether I think the Oilers should be riding the hot hand or go back to Stuart Skinner for the Battle of Alberta coming up on Sunday. We're going to discuss Noah Philp's game and kind of, his story getting back to the NHL and then his impact in his first NHL game. Great story here for Noah Philp. The next topic after that will be fight equals win. The Oilers are undefeated when they have a fighting major in a hockey game. They are now 5-0. So clearly that is the key to success to move forward with this team. The next topic, Podkolzin's impact. Vasily Podkolzin, he's had a strong impact in this lineup over the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks. The style of game that he plays, I think it's starting to mesh really well. I think him and Draisaitl are working well together. So hopefully he's able to sustain that. We're going to set you up for Battle of Alberta 2.0, what to expect from me on this channel leading up to it and day of. Then I'll discuss hitting 4,000 subscribers on the channel in less than a year, by the way. If you are newer to the channel, I've only been uploading content since about the middle of November of 2023. So the fact that I haven't even been uploading content for a full year and we've already hit 4,000 subscribers, that is unbelievable. Your support means the world. And then, of course, end of the video, my closing thoughts, kind of wrap things up and let you enjoy your weekend. So, like I mentioned, those are the topics. Expected goals for and Corsi for at the bottom of the screen because I do like the advanced analytics. I don't get too heavily involved in the advanced analytics during these videos, but I do like to point out a couple things just to kind of see where the team's trending and how they did on an individual basis in the game. Small sample size, of course, but let's get into that first topic. Full team effort. Oh, I forgot to mention, everything will be timestamped, every single topic. If you want to skip around the video to different topics in any order you want, they will be timestamped in the description. And of course, the little media player on YouTube, you can choose which one you want to go to. Anyways, let's move on. Full team effort. Last night, the team was shot out of a cannon. That top line, Leon Draisaitl, Vasily Podkolzin, Viktor Arvidsson, absolutely shot out of a cannon. I don't know what Chris Knoblauch said to the boys before they stepped onto the ice for their game against the Predators, but they were ready to go. The whole team was ready to go. All four lines were rolling. Other than the fourth line, I actually thought the fourth line didn't get a whole lot of ice time in the first period for whatever reason, but as the game went along, Chris Knoblauch, he started to trust them a little bit more, and they were rewarded with really strong play. Corey Perry continues to play really good hockey. He scored his second goal of the season. He should have about 3 or 4 right now if he didn't have a couple goals taken away earlier in the year. But Noah Philp, also really good. There really is not much to complain about in terms of the Oilers' effort last night. They made one big mistake. That was Brett Kulak on the penalty kill. I would argue Nugent Hopkins' penalty was also a mistake, but again, kind of a weak call. Either way, the whole team showed up. They were ready to go, and this was a by-committee win. The Oilers, if they're going to have any kind of sustained success without Connor McDavid, no matter how long McDavid is out of the lineup for, whether it's 1 week, 2, 3, whatever the case is, the whole team has to be bought in. The whole team has to work together, and they have to be a well-oiled machine, and they definitely looked like a well-oiled machine last night, which is a good sign. Can they sustain it? Well, that remains to be seen, but it's a really good start considering the injury circumstances to their franchise player. And leading the way, of course, was Leon Draisaitl. He has completely dominated the Nashville Predators historically in his career. I think he has 27 goals in his last 28 games against the Predators. I don't know how that's even possible, but just an outrageous stat line. And I know Draisaitl hates talking about it, but as a fan, I will talk about it because it's fun to watch. Every player has one of those teams that they just absolutely dominate for whatever reason. Doesn't matter what the roster turnover is. It doesn't matter that these teams lose and gain players every year. These teams are not the same every year. What Draisaitl was doing in 2019 to Nashville, he's doing the same thing in 2024, and the roster turnover is insane. There's barely any players left from that 2019 team. You love to see it, obviously, as an Oilers fan. And Draisaitl in general, he's had a really strong start to his season. He has 8 goals in his first 11 games, 13 points. He's a +3 rating. Obviously, that shooting percentage is going to come back down to earth just a little bit. But for Leon Draisaitl, you're looking for him to step up after he signed that huge contract this summer that doesn't kick in until next year. But when he signs a contract like that, he will be the highest paid NHL player at the start of next season, unless someone else gets signed to an even bigger contract. You expect him to step up as your leader when the franchise leader goes down with an injury. And just like in that 2019-2020 COVID-shortened season, Leon Draisaitl steps up when McDavid's not in the lineup. He steps up, and anyone, there's fan bases out there that still think that Draisaitl is a McDavid merchant. There's a lot of people that think Draisaitl doesn't do what he does without Connor McDavid, and all I have to do is point people to that 2019-2020 season and point everyone to the stats of McDavid in the lineup versus not in the lineup. Look at Draisaitl's production. Draisaitl hits another gear. And just like in Pittsburgh, when Crosby went down with injuries earlier in his career, Evgeny Malkin, he stepped up. The Sedins in Vancouver, if one Sedin went down, the other one, they stepped up. The elite players in the NHL step up when, their franchise cornerstones go down. And for Leon Draisaitl, he is just as much of a franchise cornerstone on the Edmonton Oilers as Connor McDavid is. Of course, not as flashy, more prone to those weird no-look backhand passes to literally nobody. But in terms of Draisaitl's impact on the ice, his ability to help this team win a hockey game when McDavid is out of the lineup, we're very lucky to have Leon Draisaitl. And I wore the Draisaitl jersey last night, and I'm glad it was a bit of a good luck charm. Of course, anyone could have predicted he would have a big game against Nashville, though, so it's not like, I'm saying that I was responsible for his performance. But in saying that, full team effort. Podkolzin, he got the show started. He had a great turnover in the left corner in Nashville zone. Good forecheck. Gets the puck to Draisaitl. Draisaitl feeds it across to Viktor Arvidsson. Boom, 1-0 Edmonton. And the team never looked back. Yes, Nashville tied it up not long after on their own power play. Brett Kulak tried to throw a puck up the middle. It hit Philip Forsberg in front of the net. He capitalizes on a, I don't want to say fluky, but for Brett Kulak, he's just got to take an extra second to realize he could have made a play there. Other than that, great game, full team effort. Let's see if the team can sustain that moving forward. Now, next topic here, Calvin Pickard. This is an interesting one. Calvin Pickard last season was a solid backup. You knew what you were getting every single night with Calvin Pickard. He's not incredibly flashy. Sometimes he looks a little unorthodox in his crease, and sometimes he looks even uncomfortable, I would argue. But he consistently puts up a 900 save percentage, 905, 910, 2.5, 2.6, 2.7 goals against. And last night was no exception. I thought Calvin Pickard played a really strong game, and he made the saves that he had to make. And that gives the team in front of him confidence to, make plays. Nobody last night looked like they were struggling to make a play or looked like they were, maybe unsure in the defensive zone. Sometimes with Stuart Skinner, you can see the team change how they play just a little bit, especially if he gives up a stinker early in a game. This game was 1-1 early, but the team, they never let that goal affect them. And Calvin Pickard, he didn't let that goal affect him. I am of the old school mentality that you ride the hot hand. If Calvin Pickard continues to win, you keep playing him. He won last night. I think he should get the start against Calgary on Sunday. And in no way am I saying that I think he's better than Stuart Skinner or that Stuart Skinner doesn't have what it takes to continue to be a starter this season. And I'm also not advocating for Calvin Pickard to be the full-time starter. I want this team to win. I want them to have sustained success, and you play the goaltender that is giving you the best chance to win on any given night. Play the goaltender that's winning you hockey games. Calvin Pickard right now, he's winning the team hockey games. 3-1 record. He only has an .897 save percentage. However, that goals against is at 2.48, and that is a huge, huge thing. The Oilers don't give up a ton of shots when Pickard's in the net, but like I said, he's making the saves that he has to, and he's giving the team a chance to win. I would argue Calvin Pickard has had one tough start this season. That was against Chicago, second game of the year. Edmonton lost 5-2. The Oilers did not play good in front of him. And I'm not saying that the Oilers have played amazing in front of Stuart Skinner and that Skinner, shouldn't be playing or anything like that. But I'm just advocating for Calvin Pickard a little bit. The team needs some confidence. They need someone in the crease that they can rely on while Connor McDavid is out. And if it is Calvin Pickard, you keep playing him. Now, of course, the game against Calgary on Sunday, he could give up 5 goals in the first 10 shots of the game, and then you got to go back to Stuart Skinner. Great, do it. But Calvin Pickard right now, he should be the starter. He should start against the Calgary Flames. And if the Oilers, theoretically, hypothetically, if they beat the Calgary Flames Sunday, you keep playing them. They won't play him Monday against New Jersey, though, because it is a back-to-back. So no matter what, Calvin Pickard gets one of these starts. He either gets the Calgary game or the New Jersey game. I will be curious to see what Chris Knoblauch does and which game he gives him to. Speaking of the goaltending and Stuart Skinner, by the way, happy birthday to Stuart Skinner. It is his birthday today, so everyone wish Stuart Skinner a happy birthday. Not that he would even see the comments on this video, but just something positive to mention. All right, moving on. We're going to talk about Noah Philp. Noah Philp last night, first NHL game, gets his first NHL point on, I think it was his first shift of the game, honestly. Philp, Corey Perry, and Drake Caggiula, they were just Energizer bunnies. Tons of energy from that line. And Corey Perry, he scored a really nice goal in front. Noah Philp, he got the assist. Drake Caggiula got an assist too. Good to see Drake Caggiula back up with the big club. Of course, a lot of Oilers fans remember watching him back in, I think, 2017, 2018 or something. Maybe 2018. It was 17, 18. But yeah, I thought Noah Philp played a great game. And considering where he was just a year ago in his career, in his life, and where he is now, I could not be happier for him. There was a lot of hope a couple years ago that he would eventually become the Oilers' fourth line, maybe third line center. He's always had an incredible hockey IQ. Something that I've read in his scouting reports is that every single scout ever seems to mention that, hey, he just thinks the game the right way. He thinks the game well, and he understands where he needs to be, and he doesn't try and do more than what he's capable of. He doesn't overanalyze it. He doesn't complicate things, right? He plays a simple game of hockey, and you love to see that. Noah Philp last night, he was rewarded with his first NHL point, and the team, they were looking for him to get his first goal late in the third. Corey Perry, he easily could have scored a second goal if he wanted to. He was trying to find Noah Philp. You love to see that from veteran leaders like Corey Perry. And for Noah Philp, over a year ago, he decided to step away from the game of hockey for personal reasons, focused on himself, focused on his family, his mental health, and he came back this summer, end of the summer. He came into training camp. He was in shape, signed a one-year deal with the Oilers, and he has not looked back. I think Noah Philp definitely deserved to make the team out of training camp. Because of how good he played in preseason. He went down to Bakersfield. He did not let that affect him. He put his head down. He went to work down there. He gets his call-up opportunity, which we knew was going to come. And I'm going to guarantee you right now, I'm telling you right now, Noah Philp, there is absolutely no way he is sent back down to Bakersfield. I don't care when McDavid comes back. I don't care what the forward dynamic looks like. Noah Philp has earned this spot on the fourth line center position. And I would even argue maybe you could bump him up to the third line because it's not like Adam Henrique is doing much right now these days. Noah Philp has played terrific hockey. I could not be happier. He is a player that I will continue to be excited to watch, and I'm excited to see him in his first Battle of Alberta on Sunday. Assuming he's in the lineup, there's no reason to take him out. Same with Drake Caggiula. Drake Caggiula goes into the lineup. He has an impact offensively as well. And that line together, they had an incredible expected goals for percentage. Like Drake Caggiula led the way, 83% expected goals for. Noah Philp, 80.46%. Corey Perry, 73.93% expected goals for percentage for those three. They were the best line last night in terms of generating the possession metrics, the advanced analytics, the expected goals percentages. And I'm excited to see them play against the Calgary Flames. And if you're Derek Ryan, probably sweating a little bit. Derek Ryan is at the point of his career where if you are not able to sustain your own play and contribute meaningfully in that lineup, you're kind of the odd man out. And it's really sad to say. Like, I love Derek Ryan, but this reminds me of Sam Gagner last season. I will say, though, Sam Gagner offensively should have still made the lineup more than he was in the lineup last season, but it's just players that are that old. They're not as fast. They don't keep up as much, and they don't contribute in different areas of the ice. Sam Gagner, very one-dimensional player in terms of where he's contributing. He doesn't penalty kill, and you have to shelter him. They had to shelter him and play him against other teams' bottom six forwards. Derek Ryan right now, he's struggling at generating offense. He's struggling at maintaining offense. Now, I don't think he's played poorly, but Noah Philp was also entrusted with several key defensive zone draws last night, something that he was doing and winning. He went 10-4 on the dot. So if Noah Philp is able to sustain that as well, like that's key. Like if you need a big penalty, like a penalty kill draw in the defensive zone, just to win possession and dump it down the ice. Or maybe another team had some sustained zone pressure and you need Noah Philp to go out there and relieve it a little bit. That's huge. And for Noah Philp, he's carving his way into this team. And once he's here, and he is here, by the way, he ain't leaving that lineup. No way. Absolutely no way. It would be so unfair to him. And I really hope Chris Knobloch and the coaching staff and management understand Noah Philp's worth right now, and I really hope that they continue to reward him with ice time. Good to see him get his first NHL point. His family was in the stands. It was really nice to see. Hopefully he continues to play well. Next thing we're going to talk about, fight equals win. The Oilers, as I kind of mentioned in the intro of this video, the Oilers are now 5-0 when they get into a fighting major. They are 5-0 when they get into a fighting major, and they are 0-5-1 when they do not have a fighting major. Obviously, that is a silly stat that fighting has no real impact on whether a team is going to win or lose a hockey game. However, there could be something to that in terms of elevating your emotions, elevating your style of play, and supporting each other, taking care of each other, defending each other, defending the house, right? Like you are a team, you're in that locker room, you see a teammate go down, step in, help them out, and that's just how I feel about it. I'm pretty old school when it comes to fighting, I guess. I mentioned my live stream last night. I don't think fighting is something that is going to be part of the game for a long time. It will eventually be phased out in my lifetime, I believe. And I'm not someone that ever advocated for, like the 70s Philadelphia Flyers and just how violent hockey was back in those days. Like that, I'm not someone that wants that. I'm not the Don Cherry type that thinks that is, something that is important to the game. However, when there is a fight and you have players throwing punches, my brain turns into a caveman brain, and I love it. I love watching it. Watching Ty Emberson throw the mitts last night, which is, again, a player that you don't expect to throw his fists. And then Vasily Podkolzin, the two punches that he landed on Jeremy Lauzon. Holy smokes, man. Lauzon, there was just blood exploded all over the ice there was one specific punch that connected just above his eye. Unbelievable punch from Podkolzin. And the fact that the team keeps winning when they get into fighting majors, I don't know, maybe just keep fighting. Maybe on the opening draw, just old school, just pick a guy, line brawl, get it out of the way, and then focus on the game of hockey. Of course, hopefully players don't get injured. I'm someone that has suffered a ton of head injuries myself. So fighting is something that I still get a little, when it's happening, I'm queasy, but afterwards the adrenaline kicks in for me as a fan and I love it. So we'll see if fighting continues to be a talking point for the Oilers, a narrative, because if they keep winning when they fight and they keep losing when they don't fight, this is going to be a funny narrative the longer it goes on this season. Speaking of fighting, Vasily Podkolzin, he fought last night, but I wanted to discuss his bigger impact on the ice, which has been his 5-on-5 play and his ability to play with Leon Draisaitl. The last week and a half or so, Vasily Podkolzin looks like he's becoming a lot more comfortable with his role on this team. He is the only one that is he's the only physical player in the lineup. And for a team that is really missing Evander Kane's physicality, a lot of people will, overanalyze what Evander Kane brings to that lineup, but you can't understate that there are players who need to play a specific role that will help your team win. Nobody on this team is physical. Absolutely nobody, other than Evander Kane, right? So Evander Kane fills a hole. He fills a need where, you're deficient in the physical side of the game. While Evander Kane, that's his role. He will throw hits. He will fight. He stirs things up on the ice. Vasily Podkolzin right now, he is stepping in and he is doing that. He does not have the offensive flair, the offensive ability to score at the rate that Evander Kane does. But this team, without that physicality, it's clearly missed. whether you're a Evander Kane fan or not. I've been very hard on Evander Kane in my time on this YouTube channel, but you can't understate the impact that he does bring when he does play in terms of that physicality. I think lots of players, there should be a specific role that they bring to the team. What are they doing? What are they good at? Vasily Podkolzin is good at being physical. He leads the team in hits with 30 and is by far the most. It's more than anyone else on the team. I think the next closest player for hits is Darnell Nurse with 17. So Vasily Podkolzin, for someone that plays about 11 minutes a night, he hits bodies, and lately he's been chipping in on offense, and he's been helping the team drive offense. He's not getting rewarded with a ton of points, but his first goal with the Oilers is going to come, and it's going to come very soon. And the fact that he's getting some chemistry with Leon Draisaitl, the fact that he can even play with a guy like Draisaitl is a really good sign for the Oilers. You love to see that, and hopefully those two can continue to build chemistry along with Viktor Arvidsson. That is a bruising top line for Edmonton. I almost said second line. That's normally their second line when McDavid is in the lineup, but that is their first line right now. And hopefully they can find a way to contribute a little bit more. Viktor Arvidsson got his first goal of the season last night. Let's see if Vasily Podkolzin can get his first goal of the season soon. And yeah, love to see it. Hopefully he continues his strong play. Really, really happy with him. And, his ability to absolutely mash a face with his right fist. Something that was unexpected. Second NHL fight ever last night for Podkolzin, and he absolutely just wrecked Lauzon. I hope Lauzon is doing okay, and we'll move on from there. Next up, Battle of Alberta 2.0. We're going to get a set up for the Battle of Alberta on Sunday at 6 p.m. Mountain. Now, what can you expect from me leading into that game? Well, unless there's some breaking news tomorrow, because there is more than 1 day off between games, 2 days off in a row, that means likely the second day off, I won't have much content to produce. If there's breaking news, I will have a video. If there's something I feel like discussing, I'll put a video out. I'm thinking of doing like a hockey, like meme reaction type video, but that would likely be like in short form content, and maybe something that I upload on TikTok instead of on the main YouTube channel. But I am looking at ways to create extra content on those extra days off, because there are going to be times this season where the team has 3 or 4 days off in a row between games. And then I think is it February, you have that Four Nations Cup where there's like 2 weeks of no games at all. So I'm trying to find a way to do more content between days off. But in the meantime, leading up to that game against the Flames on Sunday morning, I will have a pregame report up. And then Sunday night, 6 p.m. Mountain, I will be live streaming. I will do a live stream commentary for the Battle of Alberta Round 2 here on Austin Hockey on my YouTube channel. I'm very excited about it. I cannot wait. I'm hoping to do more live streams throughout the season. And then, of course, after the game on Sunday against the Flames, I will have a post-game reaction video. Now, when we head into Monday, because the Oilers play a back-to-back, they play New Jersey on Monday, Calgary Sunday. On Monday, there will be no day after because I have to have the pregame report up before the Devils game. Then after the Devils game, I have the postgame recap. So the next day after episode from me is going to be on Tuesday, November 5th. So keep an eye out for that. Speaking of the content on the channel and my appreciation for everyone, we did hit 4,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank everyone enough. Your support means the absolute world to me. We started creating content less than a year ago because the Oilers were in the absolute dumpster. And this channel has turned into a really positive thing. What started as a negative on YouTube for me has turned into a huge positive, and you are part of that. You are the reason why I do what I do every single day. So thank you for 4,000 subscribers, and sky's the limit here. I'm excited for the future of the channel. I'm excited for, everything that could and might happen throughout the next several years as I plan to continue to produce all this content for you. Because you are amazing, and I don't do what I do without you. So thank you so much. Give yourself a little pat on the back. Eat some extra candy for me. I'm not a big candy eater, so if you have extra candy from Halloween, make sure you're eating a whole bunch of that for me today. If you have some pets, give them lots of love. Give them lots of treats today for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I know I said I wanted to keep this around 20 minutes. It's been almost 25. So thank you for your patience. I truly appreciate it, Oil Country. If you liked today's day after discussion, make sure you hit that like button. If you really liked it and you're not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Tons of things in the works right now behind the scenes. And I'm really excited for the future, what it has in store for us. And hopefully this Oilers team can continue to find some success and win some more hockey games until Connor McDavid gets back in the lineup. We'll see you soon, Oil Country. Tell someone that you love them. Fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. Let's go, Oilers.